In this video, we are officially going on our 75th safari, but our first one ever outside of Africa.
Welcome to Sri Lanka.
Good morning from Jaffna. It is not even 6 a.m., but we had to wake up early because we were driving 226 kilometers to Wilpattu National Park. And when you're driving what we're driving, well, it takes a while.
Here we go. Morning, sir.
How are you?
Morning, how are you?
Good, you?
Yeah, going.
Wilpattu National Park.
Sri Lankan happy?
Yeah, very nice. Nice
Very
people
nice.
like you.
So we just made it to our camp, Thamaravila, just outside the Wilpattu National Park. And we are here thanks to our friends at Nature Odyssey. Now, Tracy is already in the shower because we came here, as you saw, with our own tuk-tuk. So it was sweaty and dusty. But after the shower, we're going to show you around because this place is wonderful. We feel much better now, so we're gonna go for lunch, show you the main area, and come back here to show you this beautiful room. It is very nice.
So welcome to the main lodge. This is where we first arrived and checked in, and now we're gonna have some lunch. So for our starter, we have pumpkin soup, and I'm not gonna lie, I already had a bite. It is amazing, and they pride themselves, like they even get the pumpkin from the local farmers here. There's no artificial flavors or additives, no MSG, no anything. It is so good.
And to go with our pumpkin soup, we have the perfect lion lager, also made here in Sri Lanka. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to a safari in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm. So for lunch, we have our own mini buffet and we have a surf and turf. We have chicken, we've got some fish, we've got some shrimp, and we have a bunch of different curries and vegetables, 2 types of rice. It looks delicious. And it's way too much food for just the 2 of us. For dessert, we have some buffalo curd with honey. It is super nice. Buffalo curd is kind of it's a little bit sour and thicker than yogurt.
It's almost a cross between yogurt and sour cream, but it's thicker like sour cream.
Anyway, it's a very popular dessert here in Sri Lanka. They make even ice cream from it. It's delicious. Just choosing our dinner tonight.
I don't know what that is. So it's official. Sri Lankan food is my favorite country food. I think so.
It's really, really good. Like all the different curries, the flavors are so good. And once again, like these types of food makes us realize how bland Canadian food is. We don't want to eat Canadian food anymore. No, it was really, really good. And I love the buffet style. Like tonight we're having like a 4-course dinner, but I like a buffet style like that.
But there's always so much food and I feel guilty because I
very
can't
full.
eat it all, but oh man,
but now you're gonna
so
have to walk around to show them the room.
Absolutely.
Let's go for a walk inside the room.
So now that our bellies are beyond full, such good food. Let us show you around. As you can see here, it's actually elevated up on stilts. So we have a beautiful balcony with a seating area here. Now, come inside. So inside, it's like a little A-frame cottage is the way I would describe it. We have a king-size bed. It looks so comfy, and I love that we don't just have a sheet. We actually have a comforter as well. Something we didn't expect is we have an AC here, which that was news to us. A little bit of the luxury category, I would say, because it is hot here right now. A desk here if you need to work. We have our coffee station, and we even have a mini bar inside. But keep going, because as much as this room is nice, I think the star of it is this bathroom. So when you come in, obviously the first thing that you're noticing is this gigantic bathtub. And I think we're gonna make the time tonight to actually have a relaxing bath because it is so stunning. We have to take advantage of it. We have obviously your sink and toilet over this side, and just around here we have where you can put your luggage. Our luggage is a little messy right now, so I'm not gonna show you that. But keep coming, bathroom's not done. You're probably like, Tracy, something's missing. You're right, the shower. We have a beautiful outside shower here, and if you've watched any of our safari videos, you know I absolutely adore an outside shower. We already had one this afternoon, and it was glorious. So this place is absolutely beautiful. Because there are different ways of doing your safari, this evening we are actually going on a bushwalk. So let's go.
We also had the little sundowner plan, I think, but let's hope we get some sort of sunset or colors in the sky at some point, because we had a little bit of rain in the last hour. We are kind of in the middle of monsoon season, but hey, nothing we can do. And then tomorrow morning it's going to be the real game drive. So you might be wondering, what kind of animals do you see in Sri Lanka on safaris? It's a good question, because I had the same question. First of all, there's a lot of cows. But apart from them, there's actually elephants, tons of deers. Sri Lanka is also like a paradise for bird lovers. And if you like leopards and have never seen leopards, Sri Lanka is probably your best chance to actually see leopards. For example, in Kenya, there's about just over 1,000 leopards. And here, there's also just about over 1,000 leopards. The difference is Sri Lanka is 9 times smaller than Kenya. So Sri Lanka is known to have the largest concentration of leopards in the entire world. So maybe we'll get lucky.
Just as we came through this tree area, you can see some old elephant tracks.
So as you can see, this little house on the tree there is no longer in use, but it is common in Sri Lanka for farmers to stay in those overnight to look over their crop or animals to make sure that like big elephants or other big animals don't come and eat everything. And when they come, they just shoot firecrackers. So we just came back from our cute little walk around the camp, and it is so beautiful because, like I said earlier, like it is monsoon season or rainy season, so everything is so green and lush.
Yeah.
There's beautiful birds everywhere that were all pretty much too fast for me to film them.
Apparently it's migratory season too,
Yeah.
so from November to April. So bird lovers paradise.
Yeah, birds are actually coming from mainland India up to Sri Lanka for the season, which is super cool. Birds are like literally everywhere. And now we're gonna go enjoy I think they have a little setup for us for Sundowner. There's a little bit of color, a little bit, so hey, it's a win.
So no matter if you go on an African safari or a Sri Lankan safari, you're still gonna eat way too much. So for our sundowner tonight, we have sweet and savory. So we have everything from like a tea cake to vegetable fritters, which are so good. And like I said, this is not even supper yet.
See you in the morning, thank you. Just came back for supper. It would be an understatement to say that we are full, because like we literally had like a supper size meal before supper for
Agreed.
Sundowner.
Agreed.
But otherwise the food was super good. We had like a
Really
steak
good.
tuna, which was delicious.
Yeah.
Singaporean soup.
It brought me, like, the flavors brought me right back to Singapore. Back to Singapore, because that soup is honestly like my favorite, like those noodles. Fantastic job on that.
And then chicken with creamy mashed potatoes and mushroom sauce. It was delicious. And dessert, of course. But now Tracy's gonna go have a little relaxing bath, and we're gonna go right to bed, because if you know anything about safaris, you know that it starts early, and tomorrow is no exception.
Nope.
We are on the road at 5:30 a.m. for our first ever non-African safari. I'm just excited to do it on another continent.
I know, right?
good morning. It is 5:30 a.m. very early, but if you want to see some wildlife, well, you have to go earlier in the morning because animals are normally more active because it is not as hot. So we are going into the Wilpattu National Park today, which is not the most popular park here in the country. It's actually Yella, but the reason why we came here is because first, Wilpattu is the largest national park in Sri Lanka, and second, well, it's because it's not as popular, right? We want to see wildlife, not other jeep, and in the past in Africa, we always had better experiences in parks that were literally less popular.
But first, we sneak 10 minutes to have some tea.
David,
Nishant.
nice to meet you.
Yes, well.
Our guy just put his safari hat on. This is when you know it's getting serious.
First safari outside of Africa. Let's go.
So Nature Odyssey actually sent us a low profile truck. And what that means is we are a lot lower to the ground. And the reason for that is because in this national park, it seems that the leopards are more on the ground versus in other national parks where they're higher. But that being said, if you look at all the trucks around us, they're still in a high profile truck. So I feel like we have a bit of an advantage in this truck.
And our guide was telling us that basically the reason why the leopards here don't really go in the trees because they don't have to. There's no predator for them. There's no scavengers. So they can just kill their prey, eat it on the ground, and nobody's bothering us because they're really the top of the food chain. But now I see our driver and our guide coming back with our tickets. It's time to go on our first Asian safari. So something about the male deer here, their antlers grows at a rate of about 3 millimeters a day, which is very, very fast. So if they break them, no big deal, and otherwise they need to keep scratching them to make sure that they don't overgrow.
So we just arrived at a quick pit stop for bathrooms and a viewpoint over a little lake. They even have a tea break for us. Cheers.
We're back in the truck and go, go, go. Somebody just told us that they saw an elephant not too far, so we're on the way. Well, we just saw our first Asian elephant, but it was like very bushy, so we saw mainly an elephant butt, but it counts. It would be a safari if you don't get stuck a little, you know? Okay, we're good now. That, guys, is the beauty of going on safaris. You never know what happened. You know, we were like towards the end of the safari and we're like, oh, are we gonna see anything? And then boom, 3 leopards.
So to put it in perspective, yes, I understand it is a lot of luck, this fact that we see 3 right now, but we've done over 200 game drives in Africa and we have maybe seen like 10 to 12 different leopards. Right now we see 3 of them all in one sighting.
On our first game drive.
Got a little busy around here.
It's so funny because as much as it looks super busy here with all the trucks, these are all the trucks in the entire park. I guarantee you right now the entire park is empty. We're all here. As everyone in every truck was looking left, one guy decided to look right and he's like, there's another one. So we just saw a 4th one, which is the cub going back to see the family just across the road. Pretty cool. Here's a leopard fun fact for you guys. There's 9 subspecies of leopard. The African leopard and the Sri Lankan leopards really look similar, both in their colors and their stocky build. And overall, I have to say, like after seeing a crocodile, an elephant, a bunch of birds and deers and everything, seeing like the 4 leopards at the end made my day.
Now let's go for breakfast.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Oh, here's breakfast.
cheers to breakfast. I mean, the breakfast spread is beautiful. We have both like, whoa, what you doing there?
Nothing.
Is it still alive? We have both a Sri Lankan breakfast and then a bunch of fruits and yogurts. Like, oh, I'm so hungry too.
I know.
Something else that I really fell in love with food-wise, I mean, not as much as like chicken kotu, of course not, but these are Sri Lankan crepes, like, and inside is like a sweet coconut. It's so good.
Feel ashamed to admit this, but one thing I've been doing at breakfast time, which I know is probably a travesty to anyone watching this, but I love it. Take a coconut roti, put some butter on it, and then put some, I think it's like a tropical jam or something, and eat it like it's toast. Don't come at me, I know it's wrong, but it's so good.
Sri Lankans, is that a crime? I feel like we're not allowed to do that. There's just like a few things left, but I'm so full. Tracy too, we just can't finish it, but I really want to.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so delicious. Okay, giving up. Well, first of all, let me thanks once again our friends at Nature Odyssey. This was a super fun experience for us. Like, it brought us back to our 4 years in Africa.
I know. If you guys want to book a safari here in Sri Lanka, they do budget, they do luxury, anything to fit your price point. Recommend them, and we will put their link down below so that way you can kind of browse, reach out to them, plan your next safari.
And don't do like us, do at least like 2 or 3 nights just to have more game drives and have more opportunity to see things.
We were supposed to have 2 nights, but it just, we have other things planned.
We just got real lucky this morning with the 4 leopards. So
that was insane.
Overall, a great experience. This camp particularly, like, I mean, the tent is fantastic. Like, did you see that bath? That bath is crazy. The outdoor shower, the bed is super comfy, the AC is key.
I think it's a game changer here, especially where it's so hot and humid. The food, can we talk about the
Delicious.
food? Like, everything that we had was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and the service, the staff were amazing. I mean, Sri Lankans are just the best people, and it's coming from a Canadian. We're known to be like the nicest and most polite people around the world. I think Sri Lankans are just a little better.
Yeah, I agree.
So, no complaints there. So if you've never done a safari in Asia, highly recommend that you do it at least once. You gotta check it out to be able to compare Africa versus Asia. And otherwise, that's pretty much it for us. Time to go back in our tuk-tuk, move on onto our road trip. That's pretty much it.
Short drive today.
Until next time, see you guys
in the next one.